Today, I'm reviewing Monster Hunter Rise, so you can decide if it's the game for you. When I say this game isn't for casuals, it's not because it's too hard. It's because the game asks you to put some time aside to look up weapon tutorials and lots of wikis to understand how to play the game. And I get it, that's not everyone's cup of tea. Sometimes you just want to sit down after work and play a video game. But if you take the time and learn the game, it's well worth the effort. I'll talk about the story. You'll get a general outline of the overall game. I'll talk about the gameplay loop, who this game is for, and by the end of this video, you'll have an understanding of what info you'll need to research so you can feel confident starting your journey with Monster Hunter Rise. Let's first talk about the story. Your character is fresh from the Hunter's Guild, and you're assigned to the Kimura village. When you get there, the elder of the village receives a letter that a rampage is coming. Now, a rampage is basically a horde mode, where all the monsters you usually fight on singular hunts will be attacking the fort. This fort has turret spots located all throughout, and you get to build different turrets for the fight. The system is how they introduce some of the baddest monsters in the game, and you'll be able to fight these monsters on regular hunts. And that's really the story, defending this village from monsters. And the key quest will be either a rampage or an urgent hunt. And then they'll give you a really nice cutscene and you can progress the story. The game divides your quest into two sections, Village Quest and Hubquest. Village Quest is only solo. They rank from 1 star to 6 stars in their difficulty. And by the end, you'll get a cutscene and even credits. But the game isn't over, and the story isn't either. They need to be done first so you can get Dongo flavors. We'll go over the Dongo meals later in this video. And more importantly, you'll get more switch skills. Switch skills can change the way a weapon fights, and sometimes it even changes up their combos. Let's get into Hubquest, which are all the quests you can do with your friends or randoms. These are ranked between 1 and 7 stars, but it's a little different. All the village quests are called low rank quests, which means the monsters are easier. For Hubquest, star ranks 1 through 3 are considered low rank quests. Quests ranked 4 through 7 are considered high rank quests, which are harder. The monsters have more health, do more damage, and have a better moveset. The hub rampages are divided the same way. And then there's also Eventquest. They're still located in the hub area too, and they're divided the same way between high rank and low rank. Now these quests are from all the events that have accumulated since the launch of the game. And the best part is, even though you missed the events when they were launched, every event is still playable and you can still get the rewards. Now these rewards could be eggs that sell for extra money, or you can get really cool skins for your character and for your Palcos and your Palmoots. Hey, I just want to say I stream every Wednesday on Twitch at 8 p.m. and to subscribe if you want to see more Nintendo news and reviews. Alright, back to the video. We haven't even gotten into why you want to face all these quests yet. High rank and low rank hunts will give you materials for the high and low rank weapons and armor. That's why you want to complete these high rank hunts, because it will create the best armors and weapons in the game. You'll notice when you make armors are divided between high and low rank armor. Weapons are also shown on a tree, which doesn't differentiate between high and low rank. You'll find out quickly because the material requirements can only be gathered in certain ranks. That's not just monster parts. When you're gathering rocks, plants, and bones, they can change whether you're in high rank or low rank missions. The game really doesn't teach you this, and you're gonna have to research each material location to figure out where you can find these items. Let's talk about Monster Hunter food and the buddy system. First, dongers are meals that you'll eat in-game, which can buff your stats before you go on missions. These meals will add elemental resistance, receiving more health from potions, or adding attack depending on your dongo choice. You're allowed to pick 3 different dongos before a hunt, but after you eat the meal, you only get a chance for these buffs to be active. It will tell you the chance percentage for each dongo. As you do more dongo monster hunts, it will add higher chance dongos and add more variety to your selection. So be sure to check mission descriptions for dongo rewards. Next, let's talk about the buddy system. You'll have Palcos and Palmoots, which are dogs and cats. These can be used to fight with you and gather extra items and gather monster parts passively while you're on quests. First, if you're going to play solo, you'll have 2 pets to fight with. And if you're playing with others, you only get to pick 1 pet. These pets can be fitted with crafted armors and weapons similar to yours. Next, there are Meowcenaries. This is how you get to extra monster parts and gather materials depending on symbols in their route. These are a great way to get extra materials when you want certain weapon pieces or armor. There is a trader called the Argosy where you can send up to 3 palicos or palmutes to gather one specific item. It's usually an ingredient. Monster parts can't be gained from the trader. Finally, don't forget to send your palicos and palmutes to the buddy dojo because it's a fast way to level them up. The higher the level will make them more successful on hunts and gather from the traders faster. Let's talk about combat. First thing to do is go to the buddy plaza, unlock the training area, and try different weapons. Then pick one and watch a weapon tutorial. The game doesn't do a great job telling you about the combos and how to use the weapons. Also, different switch skills can change your combos or erase them altogether. So you really need to do your research and understand switch skills. An example is the dual blades. Their switch skills can change between a more grounded attack or a more vertical moveset, which can help with different monsters that you'll be fighting. And you'll notice that your monster fights will go much shorter and easier if you do the research instead of fighting blind. Village missions are a great way to try different weapons because the monsters are easier. The overall combat is slow and clunky, but it makes you pick and choose when you attack with your combos, except for dual blades, where your fantasy of Attack on Titan comes true. They're fast and fun to use. My favorite weapon has become the hammer. Even though it's really slow, you get a real positive feedback when you make the monster flinch, or even better, knock them on the ground, and let your whole team do a bunch of damage. This game has a combat mechanic that no other Monster Hunter game has, and that's monster riding combat. Sometimes the monsters you're fighting run into another monster, or you can lure another monster to your target monster to help fight. If you end up riding your monster and there isn't another one around, you can ram it into walls to inflict extra damage to it. Either way, it's a great way to inflict massive amounts of damage to your hunted monster, making your hunts easier. So you're probably thinking, what's the overall gameplay loop? Well, you'll be taking on both village quests and hub quests, fighting new monsters, understanding their attack patterns, and then harvesting them for materials to make weapons and armor. These monsters will increase in difficulty, especially when you take on the apex monsters. But that's the fun, because you'll be able to create the best gear from these difficult hunts. In between each hunt, you'll be checking your Meowcenaries, the Buddy Dojo, and the Argosy. If you find a particular item you want to make, you may have to fight the same monster 4 or 5 times, but it feels really rewarding when you complete an entire set of armor. Now, not every game is perfect. There's only a few problems with this game. The first one would be that it's not friendly to new players to the series. It can feel overwhelming with how all the systems work with each other, and the vast variety of items that you come in contact with. Second, my biggest gripe is the item wheel. It can be unresponsive at times, which can be frustrating. When you really need a potion, you expect it to activate, and at times, it takes multiple tries. This can be extremely frustrating when you're facing endgame monsters and their attacks can wipe out most of your HP. This is a mechanic that you will access 1,000 times through your playthrough, and it's just not reliable. After a few negatives, let's go over the positives. The game has plenty of content. Once you hit Hunter Rank 8 for the hub area, you enter the endgame. This is where milestones get spread out. You'll get an urgent quest every 10 to 20 Hunter ranks until rank 50. Then the final urgent quest will be Hunter rank 100. To put that in perspective, I'm over 90 hours into the game, and I'm only rank 82. Second is replayability. The monsters are fun to fight, and some can be really difficult. Every monster scales in difficulty between low rank and high rank hunts. And there are 6 monsters that get an Apex edition, which can make the monsters even more deadly. On top of that, there are 14 different weapons to master that have different combos and feel different from each other. All this combined keeps the game from feeling stagnant and entices you to keep playing. Overall, I wanted to give you an idea of what you're researching. This would be weapon tutorials, ingredient locations. They can change between high rank, low rank, and what biome they can be obtained in. For weapons and armor, you'll need to know how to obtain a certain weapon part or obscure ingredient, and how to craft special items in game that can give you attack buffs and defensive buffs. The event quests are scattered into one big list. So if you want a certain skin, you'll have to look up which quests you need to complete, and there are a lot of quests. The last question I wanted to answer was, who is this game for? I think this game is for anyone who wants to play a game where you take on giant bosses with fun combat, and are okay with a little research because there are a lot of systems in this game. I think it's best if you can find someone that can show you the ropes, but you don't have to. There are a ton of resources on YouTube that can help, and finding a game with randoms is really easy. I really recommend this game because I think it's a lot of fun and it's worth your time. They're adding a big new expansion called Sunbreak this June, and I can't wait to play it, and I'll probably do a review on it too. I hope this review helped, and now you have an understanding of what this game has to offer. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.